facing, and thirdly to have a meet with the Ukrainian. Yes.
So, is India growth resilient? Are we growth resilient as a country?
Ma'am, in my knowledge, growth resilience means that we are able to grow despite the crisis, whichever is going. Yes, ma'am, I think we are moving towards growth resilience, but still because we are interconnected with the world, the entire geopolitical situation is bound to affect our economy as well. So in that per se, I think, for example, the crude oil prices, which are high, and that has led to inflation in India. So we are not totally isolated. But having said that, we are secure because of our high forex reserves we have. On the exports part, we have been doing very well. So we can say that we are moving towards growth resilience.
What is the rate of petrol in Delhi? Do you have any idea?
Ma'am, exact rate I do not.
Chandigarh, what is it? 1 liter? You don't. You don't drive?
I do not drive.
You do not drive. That's right. Right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask you some women-related questions? Because
Sure,
they may be asked to you, so it's a mock interview. Number one, you come across the news that Taliban in Afghanistan banned the women education. They are not allowed to study. So what is your take on that? Like you are talking about the bigger countries, they are working for resolution, Indian diplomacy you praised just now. So what do you think in your mind? What can India do or other world leaders do to stop Taliban from stopping the women? What do you think?
So I think that this is very unfortunate of Taliban to having banned girls from attending the educational institutes. And India as a neighboring nation, I think has...
Neighboring nation means India. Does it have borders with Afghanistan?
Yes, sir. We have a very smart Wakhan corridor.
Where?
In the northwestern...
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. We have a border with Afghanistan.
With Afghanistan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, yes, India has a role to play. So I think that any step that India has to take, it should be again to peaceful dialogue. We need to convince Taliban that the rights of the women should be protected there, and there cannot be some aggressive stance from India. We must not take some aggressive stance, but again we should persuade Taliban, and we should hold bilateral meetings that this kind of situation must be avoided, and the importance of the education of the women is something which needs to be conveyed time and again, even to the association like Taliban.
But India does not recognize the Taliban regime. How can it enter into a bilateral dialogue?
So once if the Taliban has if it forms the government in Afghanistan, we do not recognize.
It is already in power. It has a government.
Yes, sir. So once we have a stance over that, and once we establish our embassy again in Afghanistan, only then we can enter into a dialogue with them. Till then, we are only able to send the humanitarian.
Till then, we allow the women to suffer.
So we have sent some humanitarian assistance from our side. That's what we can do.
Specifically about the women's education, I'm talking.
So for that, we cannot take an official stance right now. We cannot enter into an official dialogue with Taliban, I think. So we'll have to explore other options.
Okay. Tell me, another question is that what is your view about the hijab controversy? Some women in Karnataka, they had gone to give their exam, and since they were wearing hijab, they were not allowed. What is your personal take on that as a woman?
So as a woman, I think the law of the country should be abided, and whatever the High Court has suggested and whatever guidelines the High Court has given, that should be respected by all the women. So once the matter is in the judicial eye, and once they have given their proceedings or whatever judgment they have given, they have the right to appeal, but until and unless the matter is resolved, they must abide by whatever the judgment is given.
So that what you are talking is, Gamini, is a legal recourse, strictly legal. What, from the social point of view, what is your thought? As a woman, what do you think? This is a legal thing.
Yes, sir. So as a woman, it has both the sides. One is that hijab is seen as a symbol of lack of freedom for the woman. It is being perceived on that note. But secondly, sir, I think educationally also, women should be educated. And if we deny education to women just because their attire is not fit, so it has a larger repercussion that the woman will be denied education. So that is something that we cannot afford.
Okay. Last question to you. Have you heard the name of Abu Salem?
Sir,
Recently, his name was in the news, very much in the news.
yes,
Babu
sir.
Sahib. Who is he?
So he's a person who was involved in the 1993 attacks, and now he has appealed in the highest court, and now vis-a-vis the whatever commitments India has made to Portugal. So vis-a-vis that we have.
Like what commitment?
So there was a commitment that we will not extend more. His imprisonment will not be that of more than 25 years of imprisonment. So India has taken the stance that that issue can only be reconsidered only in 2030, when 25 years of imprisonment are over. So today it needs not to take into consideration that thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Gamini, Indian Police Service is your second choice. If you get it by chance, will you take it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any role model in the IPS among the lady officers?
So one is the first woman IPS officer, Miss Kiran Bedi, and second is now a lot of women are entering. Even our immediate seniors, I have some names who have been doing very well. Like we hear about IPS Navjot Simi ma'am. So these women have inspired me a lot.
Any particular thing which inspires you? Particular attribute which is if you like?
So but talking about the particulars, I would say that the confidence that they can do a job which is not believed that women can do.